Hi, I'm Rick Maurer, and welcome to this video, How Common Goals Can Create Strong Forward Momentum. This is number 2 in a series of the Change Without Migraine series of videos. And in each of these, I'm trying to come up with stories that blend the human part, the support, the energy, the forward momentum, along with the technical parts of plans. Because in my experience, quite often those things are separated. There's the plan, and then there's the change management plan. And I think for it to work effectively, things need to work together seamlessly. As I said in the last video, like a good barista making a latte. You can't tell where the espresso ends and the milk begins. A number of years ago, I was a member of AQP, the Association for Quality and Participation. They're now part of the Association for Quality, the American Association for Quality. And at their annual conferences, it was unlike any conference I've ever attended. You would go and there would just be this buzz all the time. And it wasn't for the keynote speakers, and they had some great keynote speakers there. And it wasn't for the breakout sessions with people like me who are consultants. It was for the teams that were there talking about what they had done successfully. And so in most cases, it would be a team made up of management and labor saying, here's what we accomplished. And I remember one year it was in New Orleans, and I'm walking through the French Quarter, and I had my little name tag on, and people came over to me and said, hey, you got to hear our presentation. We're on at 2 this afternoon. I mean, there was just this incredible kind of homegrown spirit to the whole thing. Absolutely loved it. So one time I'm there, I went to a session run by a group from Borg Warner. Borg Warner makes supplies for automobiles. And they said, they really needed to be a preferred supplier with Ford. That would be a big deal for them. And so labor understood that, why it was critically important, and management understood it. And so they would have these people get together and talk about it. And they said they could never get anywhere. They would just argue, or they get quiet or something. You know, you've probably been in those meetings where it seems like something good can happen, but it just doesn't happen. And they said, it was really frustrating. And then they said, someone said, you know, what if we all just took a sheet of that, each one of us took a sheet of that flip chart paper and wrote down our vision for the company. And let's not sign our names or where, for management or labor. So everybody did this and they posted it on the walls. And so they had this little gallery walk around. And the thing that stood out was that most of these sheets were saying pretty much the same thing. And you couldn't tell if the sheet was written by management or by labor. And they said that was eye-opening for us. It said, oh, we're in this thing together. And it changed everything. And afterwards, I was talking to one of the presenters, and he was an hourly guy, and I'm going to change his name here. And I said, so it's really working? He said, oh, it's been working great. He said, in fact, at the plant, they used to call me Wildcat Willie. And he said, because I would call Wildcat Strike, because we needed it so much because nobody listened to us. He said, nobody's called me that in a very, very long time. So I really love that story. And why it stands out to me, kind of, the lesson for me is one, it got them away from, where all the conflict was and say, so what do you want? It seems like a simple question, but quite often we get stuck in that. A second thing is that nobody could remember who came up with the idea. Was it management or was it labor? I like that too. It was like we came up with that sort of thing. And it just remained this very strong focal point for them. Homegrown, easy, flip chart paper. You could make it a big, complicated process. They didn't, and it worked brilliantly. At any rate, so that's my story for today. If you like it, I hope you'll subscribe and click that you liked it. And by all means, please give me comments. I've written up my notes from that so that I can remember it and remember some of the key points. And if you'd like it, my email is on the slide that will come right after I shut up. So thanks for watching.